Okay, hello. Today is the very 1st of February, and I'm going to read on Madison Cawthorne. That is going to be my political reading for today. And he is he's a paraplegic as a result of a car accident that he was in as a passenger after spring break. I believe he may have been about 18 at the time. He is now 25 years old, but he was returning from spring break with a group of friends, and the friend that was driving fell asleep at the wheel, and they hit a concrete barrier on an interstate near Daytona Beach. He went to sue that friend's company for expenses. He did incur $3 million easily in debt medically. Isn't that sad? I had a similar experience, but nowhere near as privileged as he is, as I am a paraplegic myself. So he's a paraplegic who apparently caters to quote-unquote ableist stereotypes, and this was written by Liz Plank, to massage the egos of the non-disabled. My favorite type, not. As being a paraplegic myself, I've seen this guy and I have wanted to read on him. He's a real piece of work. Self-styled as AOC of the right. Oh, this guy's nauseating. Don't feel sorry for him. Seriously. His birthday is, he's a Scorpio. His sun is in Scorpio. His moon is in Leo. He has his Mercury in Sagittarius, and his Neptune is in Aquarius. His Saturn is in Taurus retrograde, and his Jupiter is Aries retrograde. He worked in Mark Meadows' office. He's newly elected congressman for North Carolina, just to get you up to speed on this guy. In Chinese astrological sign, whatever, horoscope, he's an Earth rabbit, and he has the life path of 4. Another interesting aspect with this fellow is he participated in the Capitol riot, which I think we should just call insurrection. It wasn't just a riot. That was insurrection. It was an attempted kidnapping and what would be hostage taking and murder. They were there to for bad reasons. He took part in that. After he took part in this, and this became known, George Irwin, a sheriff, I believe, who had supported him, rescinded his support, and is urging others to rescind their support of him, calling his involvement and what people did there disgusting, and so on and so forth. You can look it up. You can Google that. So he's losing power. He's worked for Mark Meadows, like I said, but currently he has people that supported him. This man was going to be his district director, and now has changed his mind and is also trying to wake other people up to not support this guy Mr. Cawthorne. His name sounds like white privilege, I have to say, and his picture is total white privilege. White male privilege. Okay, just checking over my notes. So, he has also allegations. I don't know what happened with it, but there were sexual misconduct, as well as misrepresenting himself about his education and business acumen. He's a great big liar, and a rising GOP star, but I think he's going to kind of go fizzle. It's just a feeling. And he's had pictures taken in Hitler's bunker. I mean, let me tell you, traveling like that when you're disabled is a lot of effort. He went to a lot of effort, let me tell you, to make that trip. And has used white supremacist language. Of course, he denies it. But that's the kind of fellow we're looking at. So, he likes to, well, you'll see the pictures that I've included of him. So he's a Scorpio with a Leo moon. Very intense, dynamic personality. Very conservative with that number 4. Very stubborn. Okay, so now we're going to look at him. We're going to see the question Aphrodite asked was, will he lose funding and support? He's already starting to lose support. Like I said, the man that was going to be, I should have snagged his name, but I didn't scribble it down. The man that was going to be his district director, since he just got elected, isn't going to do it anymore. He's changed his mind. So he's already losing that support. And this man is forgive me for not having his name, he is encouraging others not to support Madison because of and I will include the link, okay, with this man's story. And you know, he points out the fact that the hypocritical aspect of him saying that he supports the police, but yet he's there to support an active situation where they are hurting people and killed policemen. So he lost big time with this guy. So let's see what we get with regard to that question. Let's settle into dial into Madison's energy through my guides and the universe as my buffer. It makes a difference. If you're reading on people, it does help that have icky energy. Go through your guides, go through the kind of the arm of the universe being the one that kind of comes in contact with that. Madison's energy is not nice. Don't worry, I Palo Santo'd. Okay, now that we have a little background, I want to see what is his future. Is he going to lose support Madison Cawthorne, 25-year-old, newly elected from North Carolina. Okay. So I asked Spirit to share with us what we need to know about whether or not Madison Cawthorne will lose further funding and support. Despite being newly elected, what will his future be? Since it looks like he's already got people that are leaving his ship of support. Looking at the future of Madison Cawthorne in office, and he should be he should lose office for that. If you took part in that, none of those other Congress people would. I agree with AOC. You can never really, you can't trust them. You wouldn't. They would friggin' tell. And he would be the type to do it too. He's got that kind of energy. He's duplicitous. And has a high need of attention with that moon in Leo. Okay, Madison Cawthorne, what is his future? Okay, let's lay out the cards. Here we have the Page of Swords and the Five of Swords. And we're talking about that bully energy, that petty energy here. And this is watchfulness, kind of spying. It can also be kind of paranoia. Okay. I think he's aware that he's on thin ice. But he's aggressive about it, is the energy that I get. He's not like, oh, but he still holds a very aggressive energy. We see the Hermit. And the Page of Pentacles. And this tells me that I feel like we're going to see perhaps more people withdrawing or pulling away from supporting him with this Page. This is that beginning of support, and I really feel that. And initially I feel like he was drawing people in, just the beginning of. But now, with this Hermit, I feel like he's going to find himself, support-wise, far more alone. And that is a major arcana card. So that energy of that Hermit energy is strong, and stronger than even the minor arcana cards, such as this Page of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. It's the major arcana energy is big. It's bigger and more significantly longer impacting. So I feel that yes, to answer the question, he is going to find himself more alone, where looking at staffing and funding his office is concerned, because he was newly elected. So what a way to start off. We get the Eight of Wands. This is, again, it feels to me like that directed energy. Back at the Capitol, yes. And he's a liar. He's, I get this with the Magician, very much into manipulation of facts, very much into taking action and then trying to, amazingly enough, I feel like trick and manipulate, if he can, the situation. That shows up. He definitely had involvement, and I'd say maybe a bit more involvement than we realize here with that 8, because this is very focused. I think I'm getting that he took greater part than we realize somehow, with being part of that. I see, he thought very distinctly with regard to that, and applied a directed himself with purpose. Absolutely. He's not to be trusted at all. From these cards here. He talks out both sides of his mouth. He is a traitor. And there will be division within those that support him and those that don't. Because of his role, he will have loss in this new beginning of his office. And it is significant. It also actually affects him. I'm sure he wouldn't admit it, but I think that the loss of the support that he had initially for the man that was been a sheriff that was going to be his district director, he's feeling like people are stabbing him in the back. Never mind that he stabbed them in the back. I guess this sheriff didn't realize that this dude would be totally up for this. Going, and doing this. Now, that's who he is. Through and through. He's a trickster. And just because he's in a wheelchair doesn't make him any less of a danger. Do not underestimate. Let me at him. Okay, we get the Three of Cups here. I think he feels really like where that, I think he likes that stuff. He likes that, just like Trump. I think he really enjoys that aggressive fighting, bully again energy. He enjoyed going to the and he had more in planning and involvement. They better investigate him. And I don't see his tone looking like it changes too much in the future, because I'm already doing his future line, and he still looks like he's being loud and obnoxious, and he's childish, he will definitely see a line drawn in with support. Because he's a sneaky, dirty, scheming liar. And what he has for this line is that he wants to, I think, do more. I think he wants to engage in more, create more quote-unquote demonstrations, which are really for them are not peaceful, like other people. I see him stir. He's a stirrer. He ought to be made to lick the spoon, as they say. Very childish nature here. It's like he's fascinated by the power, and this power of office starts here. There is loss when we go down because he's too young and too childish. I think people, he might end up with this card and these. He might get, can they recall him? I know that is something that we do. Forgive my political ignorance, but I wonder if there isn't something along those lines. Let me pull a few more cards. There is the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, which deals with his activities with certain groups. Long, this is not like just sudden. This is support. This is active support and work and connection to those, I believe, white supremacist type groups, fringe element groups that are, he's basically, I think, also spying for these groups. He's giving them information. They need to get him out. Information, yes, sharing it with these groups. Oh gosh, they better. Okay, this deals with funding or money in the past. There's also they're wanting to make something, like they have a nostalgia for a past that never was. They want to remake the old quota days, but with a new twist, with more power. That is why it's hard for me at the moment to describe the feeling I'm getting, but it's like, it's not just nostalgia for the good old days, but it is a nostalgia for that plus an addition of modern, hostile, militia type force energy applied. He is going to come up for maybe censure. He should come up for a heck of a lot more. Here I see rules and regulations, and this is a basic energy of another four of principle, basic rules and principles that you are supposed to stick to. He will be found wanting where that is concerned. I see a man ordering investigation. Yeah. Not quite sure, but this is also will be in connection to Trump, probably. He's worried. He's going to worry when that happens because there's a lot of dirt. Like I said, He has more involvement in the planning aspect. He took part in some of that and directing it and laying it out. I'm feeling that some way, somehow. His support, involvement, and I think actual laying out of an idea, at least for some people, at least for him, himself, and I think others. I'm getting a lot on him, and I don't think it ends well for him. He will come under investigation, and there's an expansion that a woman puts in. This could be Pelosi or another fire sign type of woman that's in Congress, I think, that is part of a committee that is going to go deeper into, I feel like, the insurrection, investigation into the insurrection, and people that took part in it, especially those who are working for government in any capacity, from Capitol policemen to Congress and reps and that kind of thing. So I think he's going to get investigated. And he starts sweating because it unravels a much larger corrupt picture. I feel like he was actually also a catalyst in getting this riot off the ground and active. He has links to people, and he used them. And they acted. He really wants the victory of evil and oppression. He worships at the altar of Trump, of materialism. He thinks, I don't know what this guy thinks. There are more secrets yet to come out. It has to do with sadism and the domineering power aspect of this guy, and his enjoyment of using it over others. You think that with what happened to him, I can only tell you that it developed more empathy in me, but I don't think it did that in him at all. The opposite. He wants to suppress other people and be in total control. And if it makes them uncomfortable, all the more better that he likes it that way. Ooh. This guy's going to go. He will go. He's a wet behind the ears little snot, but he will not go easily. He's like another one that's like a tick. They're going to have to apply the heat of an investigation to get his tentacles to release a little bit. So there's my reading on Madison, and I do believe he will lose funding. And the more that comes out, the more some people who are not okay with having that look, whether or not they support white supremacy or not, are going to back away. He will have more loss. Absolutely, that shows up. Okay? And investigation. So then I just don't think he's going to be in trouble, and I believe definitely looking at a trial. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, by the way, please like and subscribe. Please help my small channel. I am struggling. Thank you very much. I guess that's it.